Hey, what's going on? I got a video today I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to call it What's in the Box. Obviously from Chicago Music Exchange. Let's go ahead and get to it. I've never done an unboxing video before because I kind of don't see the point, but in most cases. But in this situation, I'm going to try to do a series of video on this guitar. And so I just thought I'd start from the beginning. So that's the reason. It's a Squire. What? Yeah, so this is a Squire. Let's go ahead and see what's in the box further. Apologize, I'm not very efficient at box opening on video. Alright folks, maybe I should finish opening it. Alright, so there you go. This is a Squire by Fender, vintage modified Jazzmaster. So I'll let the cat out of the bag. I've never even played a Jazzmaster before. I got the hankering for one, and I did some studying, and I found good things about this particular model and make. I bit the bullet and I got one. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I got it and the price I paid for it, and then some of the modifications that I plan on doing to it. But first, let's see if it's in tune by chance. I would say no. I didn't think it would be. Why would it be? So, okay, so I got this from Chicago Music Exchange. I paid $2.99 for it. So I think they maybe, when it came out, they were priced around that range. It is in Sonic Blue. If you can't tell, it's pretty pale. And I knew that just looking into them. Sometimes it comes off as white in pictures and things. So I don't know if it's necessarily the same Sonic Blue as Fender uses. It's maybe a little bit more white to it, but I got it from Chicago Music Exchange. I've said that probably 5 times. Obviously from the box. So I got it via jet.com. Now if you were to buy this from like Sweetwater or Musician's Friend, Zound, something like that, or Z Zounds, I don't know what it's called. They have them listed as $3.99. So I got this new, but as you could see from the video, and maybe as you can see, this box itself, the box inside the box, was open as far as the staples on top. So I don't know if Chicago Music Exchange does their own setup, which would be really cool if they did, or if I got some kind of open box by mistake, or I'm going to read the material that came with it just to make sure. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I got a brand new one from them, and I got it through jet.com. So jet.com, they work their magic and they look at all these suppliers and they find the best deal. So, but I don't think they had like a limited supply. So if you wanted to go in there and get one, you could find one. So I got that deal. Let me be right back and I'll show you some of the things I'm going to do to it. Okay, so I got her tuned up now. She's in tune. So yeah, she's in tune. I actually don't have an amplifier to play it through at this moment. Mine's getting worked on, and it's getting a really much needed tubing. So I've looked at the guitar a little bit. The only thing I really see, I don't see any dings or anything to speak of, and I haven't had too much time to look at it. So this felt padding, I don't know if you can see it on the little knob, the strap knob there is like coming apart, which It's definitely not a deal breaker. That can be replaced easily enough if I wanted to. I really like the color. It's kind of like the yellowy vintage look of the neck. It feels really good. It does have the gloss on it, but it doesn't feel sticky. I mean, as of right now, get some sweat on your fingers, that might be another case. But the shape of the neck feels really good. So I guess this is a good time to talk about some things I'm thinking about doing to this guitar. And I'm gonna make a series of videos. Not sure how I'm gonna divvy them up yet, so maybe this will just be an intro video. But I actually ordered a neck from so this is obviously not going to be a big expensive build. I'm trying to see what I could do to get a really nice decent guitar for not a lot of money. But I ordered a neck from China. It was $58 on eBay. So even if it's not good, I haven't lost that much. I will kick myself for doing it if it sucks, and I'll never do it again. But I didn't buy like a whole guitar from China. This one's from Indonesia. So the neck I got, and the real reason is just aesthetics. The neck didn't have a whole lot of information on it, which kind of sucks. But yeah, it's obviously for a Fender guitar. It's for a Strat or a Jazzmaster, which is essentially the same neck as far as I understand it. This is a 9.5 inch radius neck. The one I'm getting, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm assuming because the wide majority of Fender necks are 9.5 inch, that it will be that. But the neck I'm getting, and I'll show a picture of it at some point before I get it, because it's not going to get here for another maybe 2 months is what the tracking says. But the new neck is bound on the edges, and it also has the block inlays, which I just think it looks really cool on a Jazzmaster. So I'm going to see if the neck sucks. Obviously I'm not going to put it on the guitar. It was just kind of a trial thing. And if it's a really good neck, then I'm going to use it. But it's got to be straight. It's got to have a functioning truss rod. It's got to have good frets, or decent frets that can be adjusted if need to. These frets are really good. I think these are like small to medium frets. The neck I'm getting, they may be jumbo frets, which my American Strat has. I can't say that I favor them above other frets I've had, but they're not bad. They're supposed to be a little easier to do bends and things on, but it's a whole nother story. One of the other things I plan on doing is changing the pickguard, which should be a pretty easy change, but I also want to shield it. Without taking this off, I can tell you with some pretty good certainty that the cavity of this is painted with shielded paint, just from pictures I've seen online. It's a black shielded paint. So I plan to use aluminum foil. Yes, aluminum foil. Put adhesive on the back of the pickguard that I put on, and I've done this with my Strat, and it did really good. And then I probably will have to put like a grounding wire, screw in a screw into the body of the wood of the body, and then ground that to the back of the volume pot, just so you get like the Faraday cage and everything's tied together. So I'll try to do a video on that as well. I'm going to keep the pickups as far as I know. We'll see. These are Duncan designed, and from the description, the bridge maybe is a little hotter than the vintage style, but I kind of think I'm going to like that, just for doing more like rock and pop kind of stuff, that kind of genre of music, or maybe some, I don't know, alternative, kind of like the, grunge rock that a lot of grunge bands use these in the 90s, or this style guitar. And then the neck pickup is supposed to be, I guess, fairly true to vintage. So we'll see. I don't have an amplifier to play it through right now. So real quick, just while I'm thinking about these things off the top of my head, the pickups and the knobs and the pickup selector switch are pretty cream colored, which is good. I like that. I didn't want them to be stark white. And you can tell from the pickguard that they're a different color than just bright white. So I thought about putting these in coffee if they weren't dark enough, but it looks like they do have a cream color to them. Alright, so on to what I was talking about with the pickguards. I've seen a lot of videos and people put the American Vintage Reissue Fender pickguards, and they seem to fit on these. I think those are like $40 maybe, and there's some American Vintage or some American Fender pickguards are like $80, which to me is just, I'm not gonna spend $80 on a piece of plastic. If it has actual like tortoise shell in it. Maybe it's that valuable, but I don't think they do. And then there's also like, I think Spitfire makes really cool looking pickguards, but they're like $200, $225. I'm not gonna pay the price of the guitar for a pickguard. And I'm not saying they don't look cool and they're not made of really good quality. I'm not saying that, but for me, I'm not gonna pay that much. So what I have here, I got two pickguards from Stratosphere. So this one is item number one. You can see there. Doing this to help anybody because I've had some lessons learned here. So I haven't tried the fit yet, so I will update you on that. I'll do a whole nother video. But this pickguard is described as being brown on their site, okay? And then I got this one first thinking this is the one I wanted. And then even before it got here, I got to thinking, I don't know if I want that light colored, kind of reddish pickguard against this light blue. So I went ahead and ordered this one. So I had to pay, I tried to like catch the order before it got shipped, but I didn't. I had to pay shipping. But if you pay for two of these on there, the shipping was like $6. If you pay for one, it's $5. And then I got like this Black Friday deal for $1 off. So all in all, I had to pay like $3 extra for shipping for this one, which isn't bad. So this one came, and it's the plastic on it's, you know, good. It's all in one piece. It looks brand new. It really has like a 3D look to it. It doesn't really look pixelated at all. Like I'm sure it's just a print on here. It's not real tortoise shell or anything like that. This was $10. Both of these were $10. So it is shielded on the controls part, on both of these, on the controls part. See there, but nowhere else. So yeah, I got this one first, and it has a 3D effect to it. It looks really cool. But again, I don't know about that color. So this one came, and this one is described as red. So again, from Stratosphere, brown, red. I don't know why they do that. This one is the red one, and this is the color, more like the color I wanted. I think it doesn't have a lot to the design. It does have some, but it does look pixelated when you look at it really close. As you can see, the plastic on this one was kind of janky. It does have some scratches on the pickguard itself on the edges here. They're not bad, but you know, it's like, really? So I know they do a lot of like part stuff. I'm hoping that, you know, these maybe they've been used, but I don't think they've been used if they got this plastic on top. Anyway, and then there's a lot of scratches right here that I'm assuming is from the plastic. I haven't taken it off yet, so from what I can see on this video, it doesn't have a lot of thing. It looks more like a solid color pickguard, but we'll see how it looks. So just to give you an idea, so there is pickguard, the red pickguard from Stratosphere. All right, and then let's see how the brown one looks. There's the brown one. Maybe you want to give me your opinion. Not that I'll take it, but I don't know. So there's, again, this is the brown pickguard. One more time. This might be more for my sake than yours, just to get an idea. And this is the red one. All right, so I'm gonna do the pickguard. I'm gonna do the shielding. And then I may talk about this in another video as well, but I got this bridge from an eBay guy. I think you can also get them on Amazon. This particular bridge, let me take it out and show you. And I'm gonna do maybe a video, like a summary of all the bridges that I kind of researched and found. This one, let me make sure I get all the pieces out here. This one has well, I don't know how to describe it. The saddles are like Telecaster saddles, like the old brass ones kind of thing, but they're individual, 6 of them, see? I will note that this has some rust on the bottom, right by where the posts are, but it's not a lot. It may not actually be rust. Well, I don't know what else it would be, but it's just a little yellow. But the top and everything else looks great. Everything exposed is really well covered. And it's steel of some kind, obviously. I don't know if it's been, I'm assuming it's just zinc covered, but it does come with the thimbles, I guess you could say. I'm just gonna use the ones that are in the guitar now, so I shouldn't need those. But the good thing about this one, and it does come with an adjustable Allen wrench in the package, and this one was like, I'll try to tell you for sure, but I want to say this is like $12 to $15. There's some other ones out there. Mastery, the one, yeah. The Mastery bridges are like $200. So we'll get to that in another video. But the thing about this one is all the saddle heights are individually adjustable. This does not have the same radius, no, not the radius, the string spacing. I believe the string spacing on this is 55 millimeters. 52 is the one that's on the Mastery and the Stay Trim bridges. I guess that's the preferred string spacing, because if you get too, or as you get further down the neck, the strings with the 55 millimeter spacing are too close to the edge of the fretboard. I don't know. I mean, I guess I just need to play it really and get used to it to see if there's an issue with maybe the strings rolling off the edge of the board. So that brings me to another point really quick. As I'm thinking about it, I believe the strings that come on this guitar are like 9s. A lot of people say that Jazz Masters should have pretty beefy strings, maybe 11s, 12s even. And you know, Jazz Masters aren't really known, I don't think, for a lot of soloing, but as a rhythm guitar, just a really like jingly, kind of just its own sound. A lot of harmonics going on behind the bridge here because of the distance and the break angle. So these strings feel, they don't really feel light. They don't feel like 9s. I don't know. Okay, so strike what I was saying earlier about the strings being too close to the edge of the fretboard on the guitar as it is now, because it has the original bridge and the strings can be sort of spaced however you want because there's so many different slots in the saddles. So when I get if I put the new bridge on, then I'll be able to tell if the strings are too close to the edge of the fretboard. I don't know exactly what the string spacing is currently being set up from the factory or Chicago Music Exchange. I don't know if they do that. It seems pretty reasonable just looking at it. So again, this bridge is known to, first of all, rattle a little bit. I've experienced that with hitting I don't know if you can hear that. It's not fret buzz, it's the bridge. So there's a lot of screws in the bridge to rattle. There's also screws that are in the post that can rattle. So the bridge that I bought, that's going to be probably the same issue. I plan on putting a Teflon tape around the screws, or maybe some Loctite to try to fix that situation. But the other thing the bridges are notorious for are the strings popping out of the grooves when you bend them. I can't really get it to do it. So it's out of tune now. Yeah. I can't get them to pop out. Unless they popped out without me knowing it. So it's back in tune now? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I may or may not change the bridge out. I'm going to play it for a while and see what happens. Most people I found do change the bridge out. The other thing I want to say really quick before I go, in summary, the things I'm going to modify or may modify are the pickguard is 1, the shielding is 2, and then the bridge 3, and the neck is 4. So those 4 things. Last thing I want to say is the weight. I was expecting this to be a little heavy based on what people had said online and in videos and things. It feels fairly light to me. 1, having a Les Paul. 2, having this Fender, let me grab it, made in Mexico Telecaster. This is the FSR Butterscotch Blonde. It seems pretty heavy, it always has. I had a real 52 reissue American and it was light, really light, like felt chambered. This is supposed to be ash. but I guarantee you it ain't swamp ash. It's cheap ash. So this is a heavier guitar than I wish it was. But this one is fairly light for as big as it is. I obviously haven't weighed it, but to know what the exact weight is, yeah, it feels pretty good. All right, until the next video or videos on this guitar, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Sorry, I found more things to talk about. Can you believe it? I wanted to say real quick that I like the vintage. I think I've already said it, but I like the vintage kind of yellowy look to the neck. But I wanted to give you a comparison to my Mexican Tele, just so you can have an idea of the color variation. So again, Tele, Jazzmaster. There's the backs. I've always wished that the neck on this one was a little more, that matched the body a little bit better. On the 52s, and I guess the 52 reissues, the neck is actually a little more orange or brown than the body itself. Just FYI, since I've had one before and I've compared the two. The other thing is I opened up the information from Chicago Music Exchange. Really cool. Got my receipt. Yeah. But they sent this certification card. It's been signed by someone. I can't read the signature. It's got my name on it, which is cool. Handwritten. It says, the make says, never mind. I thought it said Savior, but it says Squire. And but the back has like a checklist. So it's got headstock, action, frets, nut, electronics, bridge, everything you can think of. They got everything checked. So that's why the box was opened, which is fine by me. That's really cool, especially considering that Chicago Music Exchange has like some really cool guitars coming through there, like original Jazzmasters, 58s, 59s. There's a cool comparison video they did of like how they've changed over time and changed in the 60s and 70s and things like that. And they've got like a guitar from each era sitting there. So that's super cool that they would take time on the Squire to do that. Also in the little package was a sticker for Reverb. I don't know if they own Reverb or they're in cahoots with them, but it's even on the Chicago Exchange box. It's like proudly selling on Reverb.com. A Reverb sticker, an actual Chicago Music Exchange sticker. That there. What else? Another one. A Chicago Drum Exchange sticker. Let's see. And then we've got four guitar picks that say Chicago Music Exchange. And I'd say they're medium to heavy gauge. Not that you care, but. And then to top it all off, there's like a polishing cloth in there. So really cool, considering I paid $299. Actually, I take that back. There was on jet.com, failed to mention this, there's like 15% off your first 3 purchases. So I got 15% off of this, which basically took care of tax. I don't know why I would have been taxed on something coming from Chicago to where I live, but it took care of something like tax or shipping or something. So I paid, I think my total before any of that was like $260 something, and then it was $30 for tax or something. So I paid, with everything, all in all, I paid like $293 maybe for this guitar. So really cool. That's all I'm gonna go before I think of something else. You know, I just couldn't help myself. So I took the plastic off this pickguard, the red one from Stratosphere, and even with the plastic off, it still has bubbles in the pickguard. I don't know if you can see those. Yep, I can see some in the camera. There's one right, well, there's some right here. I don't know, I'm scared to try to take, if there's another plastic layer on there, I'm scared to take it off and fear that it'll just ruin it. But it was only $10. Maybe they'll give me my money back. Considering that I got it on video, that what I've discovered and what I'm doing. Yeah, so yeah, it's pixelated and it's got bubbles in it even after taking the plastic off. So I guess you get what you pay for. I'll update you if I find out that there is another layer of plastic on this. Okay, it looks like there is another piece of plastic on here that I got started right here. So I'm going to keep taking this off and see what is under here. It's still shiny under there, so that's good. I was thinking it would take off the sort of I don't know what you call it, the finish of it, but it's looking like it's not going to, and that is a good thing. So thankful for that.